Holy Dialogues 2024 Pride Devotional Series. Contributed by Adrian Slonaker. The Book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 16 through 21. This is what the Lord says, He who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, the army and reinforcements together, and they lay there, never to rise again, extinguished, snuffed out like a wick. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wild animals honor me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise. It goes without saying that the people of Israel in the Old Testament experience more than their share of difficulties, threats, and periods of general uncertainty. And yet God delivers them to their land flowing with milk and honey, as it says in Numbers chapter 14, verse 8. While this description is not vegan-friendly, it does represent the concepts of safety and of satiation, especially to wanderers who have been tired, hungry, and afraid, despite God's repeated commands that they should not fear. Prior to 2020, I had essentially divided my life between the United States and Canada. Then the pandemic, which upended so many lives around the world, resulted in closed borders and limited flight routes. As a dual citizen, I could theoretically travel back and forth, but this would entail expensive hotel quarantines, repeated COVID tests, and the possibility that more restrictive measures could be enacted. I had to choose a home base, and I selected Moncton, New Brunswick, a city near the Atlantic coast where I had long-standing personal ties. While I was able to continue on without much disruption to my personal life or my professional life as a language professional, the move was tough. Life in Moncton in the age of COVID was isolating and frustrating, with rampant inflation, rising crime, and a general sense of homesickness for the friends and routines I had left behind in the USA. As much as I tried to hide my feelings and to participate in the community, I was unhappy and felt disconnected from my surroundings, which included an often dreary climate and an apartment building long past its best-buy date. And yet I always trusted that God would lead me out of the situation. Despite wanting to leave Moncton, I felt compelled to stay in order to wrap up a number of procedures, the last of which was scheduled for the spring of 2024. Each day was a slow-moving challenge, but I never stopped believing and praying. Finally, on April 9th, I was on a one-way flight to Chicago, with stops somewhere in northern Illinois and Florida, and the ultimate destination being Arizona, a state associated with lovely memories. One of the last things I did before leaving Moncton was to attend Mass at St. George's Anglican Church, a rare bright light that had been my spiritual home. The kind priest knew of my travel plans and blessed me on my journey in addition to administering communion to me. That was very important. As LGBTQIA+ individuals, the importance of havens where we feel safe, encouraged, balanced, and secure is primordial, especially since, historically, we have had to endure situations where we have felt trapped, anxious, depressed, lonely, and or persecuted. Part of pride is the assertion of the need for places of our own, for sustainable, stable, and ideally happy homes where we can breathe, develop ourselves, and thrive. In Isaiah, God reminds us that He loves us. He commands us to forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Just as God has provided water in the wilderness to the jackal and the owls, God is there to provide what is needed by us, His queer and not so queer children. A blessed and beautiful pride to you.